We are so excited that Detroit City Football Club has chosen Hamtramck as its new home. This is an entrepreneur, small business type of community. Big boxes are probably not going to make it here because our demographics just don't support that type of environment. An idle mind causes problems and crime. We need to make sure that kids have something to do. Well, I started as the Hamtramck city manager in January of 2015. In the middle of winter, I moved here from Orlando, Florida, to take on this position to help move this community forward. We're still under state control with a receivership transition advisory board, which oversees all of the actions that the council and I make monthly. So all decisions have to go through them and be approved in order for them to be enacted. Our top priorities are cleaning up Hamtramck and trying to figure out how to increase our park spaces for our children, and to also educate our residents about various issues involving the community, like cleaning up their property, beautifying their properties, picking up the garbage, volunteering. It's unfortunate what has happened in Flint. It's rumored that the same thing could be happening in Detroit. Most of the older communities have lead service lines. They've always been there. It's how the water is treated as to whether or not you have an issue with your lead service lines. Here in Hamtramck, we have our water randomly tested every month. So every month a company comes in, it's a private company, they come in, they randomly select a home to draw the water from and they test it. So we've been doing that every month for years. So, as soon as we know that there is a problem, of course, we'll do what we can. We do plan on starting a lead service line replacement program in the next year. We've been doing that now. If we have residents who call us out for any kind of situation and we find out that they have lead service lines, then we are replacing those, even though they are the homeowner's responsibility. Our lines are not an issue. It's typically the line that's going into the home that's owned by the homeowner. So a lot of the houses here are older. A lot of them are rentals. A lot of them are occupied by people who are not owning the houses. The owners live overseas. They're absent landlords. We employ 3 code enforcement officers part-time to enforce city codes. And as soon as we know that there's a problem with the house, we send them a letter. We give them like a week or 10 days to correct the problem, depending on the issue. If it's something that's larger, then we give them a longer amount of time. But we do actively enforce the city's codes. Unfortunately, it's a long process to get compliance. If someone decides not to comply with city codes, of course we do issue citations. It does go to court, but there again, it's a process and it takes a long time. And unfortunately, most of the people that live around those homes don't know that there is enforcement actually happening because the letters are mailed, or either we do door hangers, whatever the case may be, but they don't know that there's a process in place and that indeed this person has been cited until they know that the property's been cleaned up. I feel like we need to educate our residents because sometimes they don't know what the city code allows and doesn't allow. I think face-to-face, communication with someone works a little better because regardless of what we have translated and sent to a home, we don't know that they truly comprehend what it is we're saying in the letter. We need to do a better job at educating, not just from a city standpoint, but I think from a community standpoint. The community has to get on board and has to agree with, the ideas that we have, because we have to include the community in order for this to work. And then once we educate and we tell them about the discrepancy, then if it's still not cleaned up, then we issue the ticket. And that's the process that we use currently, is that you can't really come out with a ticket when people don't understand what the issue is. So in most communities all across the country that particularly has colder weather in the winter, the summertime is always a higher time or a time that crime is higher in communities. We're going to continue to do our community policing program where we've got police officers on the street all the time driving around. We also have the Michigan State Police that comes in and augments our forces. That was a program that was put in place this year by the governor. He actually set aside funds for several cities in Southeast Michigan to increase patrols with the MSP. Of course, we would love to increase our number of police officers, but unfortunately, it comes with a high price. Plus, we need the community to help us. If they see a crime happening, call 911. So, we're trying to teach our residents as well that when you see crime happening or you anticipate something is not right, call 911. Even if we go out there and there's nothing happening, it gives you a peace of mind to know that someone's just a phone call away and they can show up and assist you. There have been a couple of lawsuits filed with the city of Hamtramck regarding the dumping of tires and the alleged targeting of Arab businesses. At this point, those are just allegations until something is proven in court. But of course, if it is found to be true that this indeed was done by anyone who works for the city of Hamtramck, we will deal with it accordingly. The chief and I, and actually all of my department heads, we don't tolerate racism, we don't tolerate targeting, we don't tolerate any of that. Well, the public school is a separate entity. It has its own board, it has its own superintendent. It's not an entity that's within the city of Hamtramck. I have a good relationship with the school board. I know most of the school board members. I know the superintendent. We've assisted them with various things, throughout the year that I've been here. For example, the stadium, the Keyworth Stadium, we are partnering with the schools to oversee all of the inspections and the permitting and that sort of thing for Keyworth Stadium. Now, that's something that the school doesn't have to partner with the city on. They can go with the state, but the state takes a lot longer to get inspections done and to get the necessary permits that they need. And so we stepped up to the plate and said, hey, we'll do that for you. You're right here in town, let us help you. We are so excited that Detroit City Football Club has chosen Hamtramck as its new home. There's nothing better than seeing 7,400 people descend on Hamtramck's 2 square miles and, patronize our businesses, walk our streets, involve our community. I think as we move forward, you'll see more and more people coming to support the team. There's still about a third of the stadium that needs to be renovated. So we are not even packing it out as much as we can right now with people. So, hopefully, I believe that stadium seats 10 to 11,000 people. So hopefully, as the years progress and the team builds and of course the fan base builds, we'll be able to fill up that stadium and then some. It is such an honor for Hamtramck to have that many people come to Hamtramck. Some of those people have never been to Hamtramck. So for them to come here and to experience our culture and our excitement and our energy is so good for our community, because it gets the word out that, hey, Hamtramck is a place that you want to go. You want to hang out in Hamtramck, you want to shop in Hamtramck, you want to visit our amazing restaurants in Hamtramck, and all of our grocery stores. I mean, we have so many grocery stores here that provide foods that you can't find at Kroger or Meijer or Walmart or anywhere like that. You go in there and you can find all sorts of things that are not sold in those grocery stores, and you can experience them. This is an entrepreneur, small business type of community. Big boxes are probably not going to make it here because our demographics just don't support that type of environment. Certainly we're always looking for economic development opportunities, but we really cater to the smaller businesses, the entrepreneurs, and we promote that. So, well, it's a challenge for companies to collect data on Hamtramck because, a lot of our residents are cash-based. All of their bills are paid with cash. All of their shopping is done with cash. They're not depositing their money in banks. They're not, applying for credit cards. So there is really no data for companies to go on to even know how much money is here, what the shopping, trend is here, what people are buying, what people are using. That data is just not available. Well, I think that, the timing was right for us to start moving on a lot of projects and to start beautifying the city. I can't take full responsibility for everything that's gone on because a lot of my directors and the council, the community have all voiced opinions as to what they'd like to see happen. Fortunately for me, I work with a team of people that we all have great ideas about what we want the city to be. We want it to be clean. We want the streets paved. We want the streets striped, something that you don't see here. We want the trash picked up. We want it to be beautiful, and we strive hard to do that. These kids here are living in an urban environment. They don't really have anywhere to go. They don't have anywhere to play. So I think that we've got to increase our park space, increase our activities, maybe partner more with the school on the recreation side to get some things for the kids to do, because an idle mind causes problems and crime.